Good evening, folks. I'm Dravin. I'm here with my co-host Jack for the Putback. Every Friday, we're here for you at 7:30 p.m. right here on Stadium Rant. Remember, Stadium Rant is dedicated to giving you dedicated audio support for everything in sports, including all your favorite NFL teams, awesome NBA coverage done by yours truly and Jack and Nolan, Tyler, Davensky, everyone, but they're all busy, so it's just us tonight. But don't worry, we might give you an even better show. Who knows?
Yes, sir.
But Stadium Rant is dedicated to giving you the absolute best in terms of sports coverage that we can. So make sure to check out Stadium Rant across all the platforms, including X, Facebook, StadiumRant.com, and of course right here on YouTube and wherever else you're watching. But Jack, how are you doing tonight?
Good, man. Good, feeling good. Ready to dive into this.
Now, we briefly have brought it up in previous episodes, but the all NBA teams are something of an interesting subject, especially now with the new rule, well, the somewhat new rule regarding having to play a minimum of 65 games to make it.
Mhm.
With that being said, let's go over and kind of predict who we realistically think can make it. And I'm going to say this right now. It is well documented how much I hate him. And he's going to look at a flashing light and he's going to miss 45 games to start the year. So there's no Joel Embiid on my list. Joel Embiid will not make an All NBA game next year or All NBA team. Why? He's going to get hurt. Not sure how, but he's going to do something. But Jack, who's your All NBA first team, your first player?
Just in regards to Embiid, I put him on there because I'm just going on the assumption that everyone's going to be healthy. So,
Okay.
but I can understand why you didn't. I was going to do the same thing, same for Anthony Davis, but I think he played like 72 games last year, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. But my All NBA first team is actually the exact same as last year. Yeah, absolute shocker to no one. But yeah, Luka, Shea, Giannis, Jason Tatum, Nikola Jokic. It's my top five. I put guys that are going to be high seeds. They're going to be the best player on their team. They're going to average at least 26, 27 points per game. And like the last few years in the NBA, that's kind of been what you need. That's been the way to get onto that All NBA first team. I don't really see that there's going to be anyone that surpasses any of those guys as far as their level of play this year. Obviously, injuries happen, so you never know. But as far as right now, that's my first team.
I feel like a lot of that's fairly consensus. I think Giannis, I feel like, is going to be on mine. Same thing with Jokic and Luka. I think it's really only those last two spots that are up for grabs.
Sure.
And one of them for me, am I biased a little bit? Yeah. But do I think Jalen Brunson got robbed this past year? 1,000,000%. I think Jalen Brunson deserved that spot over Jason Tatum. Obviously, Tatum showed up and they won the NBA Finals. That's to no one's surprise. But All NBA isn't a playoff award. None of the awards are for the playoffs outside of obviously the designated playoff awards. So excluding that, who do you take? I'll take that guy who averaged 30 for nearly like 4 months straight at the end of the year to help get his team ready for that playoff run when everybody got hurt. So to me, I think it'll be Luka, Jalen Brunson, Giannis, Jokic, and I'm going bold. I still think Kevin Durant can do it. Kevin Durant is the greatest scorer to ever touch a basketball. He is a 7-foot point guard. Off topic, have you seen those videos of his family like at the Olympics where they're like, he's 7 foot. He's 7 foot. He's been saying he's like 6'9" for years. It's so funny.
Like Bam.
Exactly.
He's like way taller. Yeah.
He's like standing next to DeMarcus Cousins. They're like the same height. Like not 6'9". But anyway, I think Kevin Durant, for so many of these like scoring is the number one thing. Obviously, you want to put up great numbers across the board, but Phoenix isn't exactly going to be an awful team next year. They're not really losing anything, but they're not gaining anything. They're going to kind of tread water. But Kevin Durant's still Kevin Durant. I think while Devin Booker might eat into some of that, I think Bradley Beal, maybe if he's healthy, could have an impact. KD, if he wants to, like every single player in the NBA says, the best defense for KD is prayer. You just pray he misses. That's the only thing you can do. And I strongly think that in that Western Conference, he will show up and he will be a top 5 player in the NBA. Now, for you, Jack, what is your all NBA second team looking like?
ONBA's second team was very tough. Just on KD, I don't have him on my second team either. Phoenix, absolutely hit or miss. So, they could be a 3 seed, it could be a 9 seed. Same sort of thing as most of the teams in the West that are looking for a playoff spot. So that's why I don't have them on the first team. But if Phoenix are like a 3 seed, then yeah, put them over Tatum, sure. And also on Jalen Brunson, I don't know, is the All-NBA teams you need 2 guards, 2 forwards in the center still?
Not anymore. I'm pretty sure now it's positionless.
It's positionless now?
I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's positionless now.
I wasn't sure. That's why I did like that. But I probably still wouldn't change it regardless. Anyway, second team. I got the man that you're rocking right now on the jersey. When I was making the list, I almost forgot he existed. I swear, I just forgot about Memphis because how trash they were last year. But yeah, I put him in there. Anthony Edwards is in there at the other guard spot for me. So Ja Morant, Anthony Edwards. I know. Where's Jalen Brunson? But he's on here. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I've got Paolo Banchero, All NBA second team. I'm expecting Orlando to make that leap.
I love that take.
Yep. I'm expecting at least 25 a game from him. And if Orlando are a top 3, top 4 seed, 50 wins maybe, that's a guy that I would put in there absolutely. And I've got Zion as my other forward. I went bold with the second team. I'm expecting a big bounce back year from Zion. If he stays healthy, if the Pelicans are good with DeJounte, then that's another guy that can sneak in there. And then my center is Joel.
Okay. I like that a lot. I love that Banchero take. Obviously, last week I made that very aggressive take that I thought that the Magic could win 55 games. And if they do pull that off, it's going to largely be on the back of the guy who's closer to LeBron than anything we've ever seen. Like, he's a very... He's like a mini LeBron. That's the best way to describe it. That's like... But for me, I differed a little bit. I'm riding high. I'm sticking with Shea. Then we're going Tatum. Then after that, I'm going Anthony Edwards. Then after that, Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama, I think, is in a situation where I think realistically, I don't think it's crazy to say 25, 12, 4, and 5 stops tonight. I think that could happen.
Yep.
And if that does, I just don't know who you put in if he stays healthy. Like, who are you gonna put him over?
I didn't put Wemby on a team, and I so wanted to. I was gonna put him on the second team too, but the Spurs are gonna be a 13 seed at best again, realistically, and it's very hard to put him on there just because of that reason. Obviously, his stats will be there. But yeah, I think guys like Embiid, guys like Jokic, obviously are going to have more team success. So that's why I haven't put him on there.
Yeah, but in contrast with that, there are players that just voters love. And I think Wembanyama is going to end up being one of those players that voters love because of how different he is in the NBA. Like, he's ushering in that new era of like 7'5" demigod 2K builds. Like, the guys you would make on 2K17 are in the NBA now. And I think that the NBA voters especially are going to want to see him have success, especially with how highly touted he was. Like, with the guys who come into the NBA and they're supposed to be so good, they kind of want that to happen. I feel like they try and push the agenda like fairly intentionally. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think they'll do that with Wembanyama. So, and then the final one for me on that 5th team is Jaylen Brown. I think Tatum and Brown are going to split it a little bit too much for comfort. Then I think you have, like I mentioned, the other 3. So It's iffy. I think the second team is so wide open that it can be a lot of people, but I think they're gonna try and give it to youth and try and really open up the court.
Definitely.
Now, who do you have on your third team?
All right, third team. I got your boy. I got Jalen on the third team,
Disgraceful.
and strictly because obviously his team's upgraded this year. They're gonna have Julius Randle back full time, so I can see it world because he was great last year, but he was at his best when Julius Randle wasn't there. He was averaging 29 points per game over the
Yep.
last like 40 games when Julius wasn't there. First half of the season, I think it was probably closer to 24. But the fact still goes, obviously a fantastic player. They've added Mikal Bridges. There'll be more assists, more open space for him to do his work. So he should still make an All NBA team, praying that he stays healthy. But maybe not averaging, like 29 points a game. But like 25, 26 is definitely within the realm of possibility. Put him with Devin Booker. This is based on the fact that the Suns aren't awful. They've got KD on the third team as well. So Book and KD, if they can get them into a top 6 seed, then there's no reason they both shouldn't be All NBA. Honestly, there was so many people to choose from.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to injuries and team placements for me. But yeah, it really could go anywhere. So Bronson, Book, KD. I put the Lakers on there as well. LeBron and Anthony Davis on the third team. I think there's no way they don't put LeBron on an All NBA team.
Yeah.
And he's still good for 25, 7 and 7 at the least. And then Anthony Davis, again, assuming he stays healthy, he's a top 10 player in basketball most of the time. So yeah.
I like that a lot. I think I don't know if until there's like a very serious decline in production, I don't see a way you keep LeBron out of an All NBA team.
Mhm.
Like you could say whatever you want. If he averages he's gonna be 40 next year, or is he like 42 now? I don't know. I think he's 40. Am I right?
He's 40 and he's
40. Regardless, point is he's a middle-aged man, and if he's averaging anywhere near 25, 7 and 7, the same thing he averaged in his second year in the league, there's just no way you don't put him on the team. That's why exactly I've got him in the same spot. I've got him my All NBA third team. Along with him, I've got Tyrese Maxey. I think Maxey should. I don't want to say it. Look, no one's a bigger Sixers hater than I am. We know this. Yeah. But Tyrese Maxey, 7 points in like 20 seconds, dude.
Yeah, PTSD, man.
Oh my god, war flashes every time I go to sleep. But like, he showed he has that guy. He is that guy. He can do it, especially when Embiid struggles or he's not playing, which is obviously going to be every single game. So, and if he's going to step up, I just don't see a way he doesn't make a team. I think realistically, he could average 25, 6 assists, and maybe 1-2 steals a game. I don't think that's crazy for Maxey.
No.
Then, aside from Maxey, LeBron, I think AD makes it again. He's one of the NBA's best defenders when he's healthy, and he played most of last year. I see no reason why he couldn't do it again this year. No reason. Mm-hmm. Then, aside from them, it's pretty much just it's a lot of stereotypical guys. I think Cat will make it, and Cat's just kind of been overshadowed. But if that team's success, the Timberwolves, if they continue to succeed like they have been, I think Cat is going to be at the focal point of it, especially where if Mike Conley starts to do the eager mentor passing on the ropes to Rob Dillingham, that ball is going to get swung around. Obviously, Anthony Edwards is going to take a lot of that, but Rudy Gobert is not putting up 25 a game. But the greatest shooting big man of all time absolutely could. And like you said, team success really does matter. If the Timberwolves are, again, like top 3 team in the West, and he's averaging like 25, 10, and like 4, I don't see a reason why he couldn't be a third team guy. I think it would at least be an argument. And then finally, I went with Lillard. I went with the old guy, Dame Dollar. I think he'll step up. I think Milwaukee could get the guy who they really wanted him to be. Obviously, Milwaukee. I think that wasn't the Dame we saw last year. I don't think was the Dame that we all knew. He just wasn't. He was
Right.
off, especially in the playoffs when everyone was injured. I think Dame could step back up, and he could also move into a much more facilitator role, which I could see him averaging like 22 and like 10. I think that's a possible stat line at his age, but something along those lines I think would make sense for an All NBA third team.
Yeah, no, can't disagree with that. I mean, it hurt my heart leaving Maxi off because I had him there. I had him on the third team. I had Book on the second team, but then I remembered that Ja Morant's there, and I had to choose between Book and Maxi.
I think his assists are going to go up too. Ja Morant's assists, because all he's got to do now is the same thing Chris Paul's got to do in San Antonio. Just put it somewhere near the basket, and Zach Edey's going to grab it.
Sure.
Like, it doesn't even need to be close. Now, along with all NBA teams come the awards. Let's go award by award, and let's see how differently we disagree, Jack.
I've done 3 guys for each award, first, second, third, as they did with the rankings. You know, when they have the finalists. So what are we starting with? MVP?
Yeah, let's start with MVP.
MVP. Third place, I have Luka. Low, probably low. Again, it just depends on team success for the awards. A guy like Luka, if they're a top 3 seed, he probably wins it. They have not done that yet while he's been on that team. So, you know, I've got to see that team take that next step. Obviously, they made the finals, but, you know, this is a regular season award.
Yeah.
So we've got to see that from the Mavericks before Luka gets that, I think, considering there's so many great players in the league still. I have Shea at 2 because OKC's, I think, is going to be the best regular season team in the league next year. And they've just added pieces to get even better. Chet's going to be, in his sophomore season, he's going to be better. You know, that team is sick. And Shea, if he averages 30 again, he might win it, honestly.
Yeah, 100%.
He was close last year, sorry. And in first place, I have Giannis.
Nikola Jokic doesn't make the top 3?
No, he doesn't. And it's not because he doesn't deserve to make top 3. It's because of the LeBron James effect or voter fatigue, as it's well known. He's won 3 of the last 4. If he wins another one, that means he has the same amount of MVPs as LeBron James. Now, he might do that eventually, right? But there's no way the voters give it to him this year.
No, 100%.
You know, because he's one of those guys that could win it every year, like LeBron was through 2007 to 2019. You know,
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think they give it to him this year. He could still make top 3, but I don't think he's going to win the award. I put Giannis because I expect Giannis to, you know, be angry after his playoffs. Obviously, he was injured, couldn't do much about that, but like he did in the 2019 season, I'm not too sure. He got eliminated in the first round, and then he came back and was the best player in the world.
Yeah.
So I could absolutely see that happening again. I think he'll be a top 3 defensive player of the year candidate too.
Exactly.
And, you know, if him and Dame can get their groove going, they're a top 2 seed in the East. And that's my pick.
I like that. I like it a lot. And I have a lot of things to say, but it kind of leads me into mine. So my number 3 is Nikola Jokic. And like you said, the LeBron James effect. They stay hating because you're winning. That is the best way to describe it. Everybody loves Derrick Rose. I love Derrick Rose too. Derrick Rose did not deserve MVP in 2011. Not a chance.
And it's not because he wasn't great. It's not that he didn't deserve it. It's just that LeBron deserved it more.
Exactly. Yeah. LeBron, I'm pretty sure, was almost Defensive Player of the Year that year. People don't realize if they did not give that award to Derrick Rose, LeBron James would have won MVP 5 years in a row. He won it the 2 years before that and the 2 years after that. It is solely because they decided to give it to Derrick Rose in 2011
it was the feel-good story that, you know, won the voters over.
It was
you gotta have a storyline if you're gonna win MVP.
the hometown kid. He got drafted out of
Mm.
Memphis. He went back. Oh, it's so nice. Well, I don't know whoever that moronic coach was in Chicago ran his knees into the ground. I don't know who that guy was, but regardless, I think Jokic goes in number 3. Nikola Jokic is so valuable to how the Nuggets run that team, how they think about offense, how they play their offense. It runs through Jokic because Jokic can ring that ball around the rosy from anywhere. He can do it from the paint, kickouts, cuts. He can do it from up top. He can do everything. I just don't see a way he's not top 3 again. Then number 2, Giannis. And I think that's largely because of that defensive prowess.
Mm-hmm.
Luka Shea gets steals, but I think overall the eye test kind of tells you he's not the best defender. He gets steals, which look good on stats, but I don't think he's necessarily the best defender. And same thing with Jokic. Jokic sometimes gets the box score, like he'll get a block and a half, but that's just because he's center. Giannis Antetokounmpo, when healthy, is one of the 3 best defenders in the NBA. That's without a doubt. Like realistically, he could average like 4 stocks a night. Like, and on top of that, if you're putting up 28, 11, and 8, then
which was very easy. So
exactly on the number 2 team in the East, which they won't be, the Knicks will. But
the Knicks ain't number 1.
No, the Knicks aren't number 1. I'm realistic. The Knicks are only number 2. Joke's on you, Jack. It's a lot of talk from the Kings who are going to be 15th in the West. 15th
is crazy.
It's okay. Victor Wembanyama is going to finish four spots above you.
I will PayPal you $500 if that happens.
If the Spurs finish 11th and the Kings finish 15th.
If the Spurs finish anywhere above the Kings.
All right. Well, it's on camera.
Yeah, it's recorded now.
No, but Giannis's defense is such an X factor because no other MVP candidate does it like Giannis does. I feel like.
Sure.
And then number 1 for me, it's just time. It's just time. Give it to Luka, please. Yeah. Just give it to Luka. He's averaging. He's gonna keep averaging 39 and 9 for the next 8 years, and he's just not gonna win it.
I get it.
One, it's a little bit of a double standard because I hold Embiid to it, so I have to hold Giannis to it. Bro, Luka, please just shut up and play basketball. He cries every single moment. Like there was if I'm not mistaken, it was either Western Conference Finals or the Finals. Like final seconds, Mavericks are losing. Luka obviously fouls, and he just immediately looks to his bench and goes, challenge it. I didn't foul when he obviously fouled, and he made the coach burn that challenge. Like, granted, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just stop complaining, man. You are too good to be doing this.
Sure.
There is no other player in the NBA who will put up 39 and 9, cry about the refs, and then go home and be a top 500 Overwatch player in the world.
It's about to be Bronny.
That is about to be Bronny, bro. Grant Williams, what are you doing? How are you gonna sell in the championship? No, but I think it's the opposite effect of Jokic. I think it's okay. He's had caliber seasons for like 2 years now where he has earned it. And I feel like we can finally give it to him because he's earned it. Like, he's just had season after season after season of this where he's been, like, worthy of it, in my opinion. Also, what is this? What is this? I don't appreciate this, bro. I did not need this. Who is Uncle Bev? Watch yourself,
that's
bro.
my dog. That's my dog from New Zealand, bro. Shout out, Cash.
Oh, my God. I don't appreciate that. I just saw it. But no, Luka takes it home for me. Now, Rookie of the Year, Jack. Who are your top 3?
Obviously, this is a very interesting draft in comparison to previous years. There's been a Wemby, been a top guy in the last year. Even Paolo was a top guy for his draft, But there's a lot of options. We've seen Summer League has not been kind to some of these rookies. Obviously, the top 2 picks have been quite disappointing from what we've seen so far. But with that being said, I am basing absolutely nothing off Zero Summer League because we've seen some of the best players of all time, Steph Curry, etc., be awful in Summer League
Kevin
and then
Knox.
be MVPs. Yeah, there you go. And then there's been great players in Summer League who have sucked. So, that doesn't really play into my rankings. But at 3, Davinsky's not here, but I'm sure he'll appreciate. I've got Khalil Lear
Ooh.
at number 3, and that's because he's probably going to play a lot of minutes. If they start him at the 5 with Bam at the 4, he's going to be that Derek Lively guy for them. So he'll get his double doubles. He'll get his 1 or 2 blocks a game. So that's those stats alone. I think considering it's a weaker draft class, that should get him into the top 3 if he's playing 25 minutes a game, which could very well happen. Number 2, I've got Mataz Buzelis.
Ooh, I love that pick. I love that take.
Buzelis. Chicago are going to suck. Kobe White and Josh Giddey and my boy Mataz are going to be running that team. And I'm so excited to see what his play looks like on an NBA level, because obviously he was in the G League Ignite.
Yeah.
And he did get opportunity, but he wasn't like able to showcase a lot of his talent because it's a lot of guys trying to get drafted, just trying to score. But he can be an all-round player. It's hard to compare him to someone, but he's a guy that could get rebounds, assists, play defense, and obviously score the ball. Needs to improve their 3-point shot. But as far as this year, for being a rookie, he should be good on that team because they're going to be bad. He'll have plenty of opportunity. And then number 1, I've still got Alex Sarr. Yes, he has disappointed in Summer League, but we can't argue with the defensive potential. At the very least, the man is 7 foot and he's French. And you know how they're made in France.
Yeah.
And again, he's in Washington. Who's scoring the ball for Washington?
Kyle Kuzma, obviously. Don't disrespect my king.
He's shooting the ball. Who's scoring the ball?
Jordan Poole.
Exactly the same thing as Kyle Kuzma. But yeah, Alex Sarr will probably be the rookie of the year because he's going to get a lot of opportunity. And he's going to get a lot of blocks. He's going to get a lot of rebounds. And as long as he can average like 14 points, I think that should lock that award up for him.
I could realistically see that. And so that kind of like fuels me into my top 3. Well, number 3, you didn't mention him. I love the potential that I don't know if it's Stefan Castle.
So yeah,
Castle in San Antonio has so much potential. Like you said, first off, he's going to be learning from CP3 on how to kind of ball handle. And while he is more of a shooting guard than a point guard, it doesn't matter. You have Victor Wembanyama. Throw the ball up, and he will score it.
And you're going to get Devin Vassell mentorship.
Oh, my God. Get Lonnie Walker come back to teach him. Oh, my God.
Johnson, bro.
Yeah. Oh, my God. But he's such an elite defender where I can see him averaging like a steal and a half as well. Like as a rookie, I don't think that's crazy. He's going to get a lot of minutes because, again, the Spurs suck. Although they will finish above the Kings. And, like, I think he can also shoot really effectively. Like, if he shoots anywhere, like, above, like, 35% from 3, averages, like, 15 or so points, 6 assists, and, like, a steal, I think very realistically that could be, like, 3rd place in Rookie of the Year.
Sure.
Number 2 for me, and it's the guy who's worse than Bronny James, it's Alex Sarr. And, like, you've touched on it. Alex Sarr, French Tower, he has so much potential in a system that is so bad without him. Outside of obviously my GOAT. No, they traded Denny Advia. Oh my God. Is Davis Bertans still there? The sniper for like a year who fell off?
I think he's a free agent still.
Who is there? Who plays for the Wizards?
That boy Marvin Bagley.
You know what? Shout out former number 2 overall pick out of Duke, Marvin Bagley. Oh, she's a king. That was the Kings. I'm sorry, Jack.
Could have had Luka, man.
Could have had Trae Young, Luca, Jaren Jackson was the next pick after
Yeah,
Luca.
yeah.
Aside from tormenting Jack, Alex Sarr just has so much potential there, especially with the stocks where he's able to get a lot of blocks, a lot of easy steals and rebounds. He's gonna have the opportunity. He's gonna get it. But number one for me, and I'm buying into the hype now. Give me the safest pick in all of the NBA. It's a Kentucky guard. Give me Reed Shepherd. Reed Shepherd has looked ridiculous. And yeah, that is a crowded backcourt in Houston. That is nightmarish, all right? That is not going to be easy to get like playing time. You're stupid to not start Reed Shepherd. Absolutely insane. Because the one thing none of them really excel at is spacing. Fred VanVleet, solid shooter, like maybe mid 30s. Jalen Green, low 30s. He can shoot kind of.
Yeah.
But like no one excels at it. That is what Reed Shepherd does. Not to mention Alperen Şengün in every way, feeding him open in the corner. I could see him averaging like 15, 16 with 3 threes a game, 4 threes a game.
Yeah.
Like that is what he does. Especially if you give him an opportunity to dish the ball out. Reed Shepherd could and I think they love shooters. The voting committee loves shooters. Steph Curry did unspeakable things to that committee because now they'll do anything for a shooter, especially a guard from Kentucky. A guard from Kentucky is the safest pick in the NBA draft. The other safest pick is some European guy who's kind of chubby and name ends in itch. That's the second safest one. Shout out Nikola Topic. Shout out Nikola Jovic. Then we got Jokic. There's so many Nikolas. They're all
Darko Milicic.
Darko Milicic, known Piston. Yes.
Great pick.
My favorite Mafia boss, Nikola Pekovic.
Most stuff.
Dude. Anyway, but Reed Shepherd could seriously do it. I don't like the sky's the limit for him. He's an elite shooter. He can play solid defense. He just needs Houston to give him the time. And I think Ime Udoka will give him the time to shine. And if given that time, I don't see a reason why he couldn't win it.
I think he'll get the time, but unfortunately he's not going to start. They're not going to start him over Jalen Green. And they need the playmaking of Fred VanVleet in their starting lineup.
I could see Jalen Green sliding to 3. Absolutely, I could see it.
Ooh,
the number 3 overall pick?
More roster though. Listen, because they had Thompson in the G League at the 4th overall pick, and then when he came, he was playing off the bench because he's not Reed Shepherd. But
he's a forward though. He's like a small forward, power forward kind of like player.
Sure, but I'm saying like Reed Shepherd can definitely fit into that Tyler Hero mold, how he did for Miami in his rookie season. The 6th man, just come off, hit some frees, snarl like a white boy. Definitely see that happening.
Will he get a song with Tyler Hero though, or with Jack Harlow?
Oh, he's gonna get a song with Eminem.
Oh, even better.
Even better, yeah. Prime some shady too.
Yeah. Are you trying to cancel him? I'm trying to cancel him actively. This is my call, Eminem. I'm trying to cancel you. This is.
You're gonna end up like MGK, buddy.
Oh my god! But no, I see what you're saying. I just think, like obviously, also we didn't even mention like Tari Eason or Cam Whitmore, but those are also like 2 threes. I like if Fred VanVleet misses any time, I think Reed Shepherd takes over that 1 slot pretty easily. I don't. Who else is going to be a point guard then?
Probably a man.
I don't think
because
so.
I know he's tall. He's like 6'7", but he played guard throughout his career, and his playmaking ability is levels above Reed Shepherd's at this stage, at least.
That's fair. I can see that. We've gone a little bit in depth on the Rockets, but now let's go to the defensive player of the year. Who's your top 3 for the D boys?
Top 3 defensive. So I spoke on him earlier. he's going to be my MVP. Giannis is at number 3 for me. I don't think he'll win it because it's not very often they give anyone MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Obviously, he did it like a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, they did. But I'm trying to think about who else they would have given it to. I don't know.
I think. Oh no, Shaq didn't win.
I don't know. Did Jordan do it in both years? I think he did.
I don't know. Maybe Hakeem in his MVP.
Oh, Hakeem must have.
I'd think so.
I don't know.
But regardless,
yeah,
Giannis is one of those guys, but there's a lot of those bigs. It's going to be a big man that wins the award this year because there's going to be some ridiculous block numbers, and I've got in 1 and 2. I've got the guys that could have won it last year. They led the league in blocks last year. Number 2 is Chet. Number 1 is Victor Wembanyama. Yeah, and that's why Victor Wembanyama could make an All-NBA team if he's going to be a Defensive Player of the Year, obviously. But the Defensive Player of the Year is not a team-based stat at all. So that's why he can win this award. I want to put Rudy Gobert up here again. I still think he's going to be a great defender, but his numbers just aren't, like, even last year they weren't really comparable, and they're not going to stop him again. Like you said, they want to give that young guy the exposure. They want to give him the award. And I think this is where it'll come rather than All-NBA because it's more team-based. And then Chet, again, coming into a sophomore season, he's going to be even better. He's going to be better with his defensive IQ. And then having Alex Caruso in the front court, that is a terrifying team. They'll probably be one of the best defensive teams in the league. And with Chet being the spearhead of that in the paint, I think he can definitely finish top 3 again.
I can see that 100%. The only thing that kind of worries me about Chet is, like, I'm not going to sit here and play the injury card about him because I don't think it's going to be an issue for him. What I'm going to say is Hartenstein. Just because if you're paying Hartenstein, it's like 3 years, 82 mil or something along those lines?
It's even more, yeah.
Like, you're paying him a lot of money, like nearly $30 million a year. Mm-hmm. He's not coming off the bench. There's no shot you put him like $30 million off the bench.
In most cases, I'd agree with you, but I think OKC just had money to burn, so that's why they offered him, because they knew the Knicks wouldn't,
But they're gonna have to lock everyone up. They're gonna have to pay J-Dub, other J-Dub.
But I'm saying because he's now on the contract, Isaiah Hartenstein, they can go over the tax to re-sign those guys, and in 2 years, I think he's got a team option on the 3rd year. They can let him go if need be, which they most likely will for 30 mil. I
just worry more or less about his time being designated as the center. I obviously think he'll be playing time, but if he's a power forward, he might be outside a little bit more, might lower his block numbers a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, not fair enough.
But for me, number 3, I agree with you. It's Giannis. Yeah. We've talked about it. Stocks, man. That's all he does. He's such a good defender. We talk about being able to guard the 1 through 5. I don't think there's a better player being able to guard the 1 through 5. Maybe Wemby in a couple years, but a couple smaller guards might. Like, I don't think he could guard Kyrie right now. If anyone could, it's Giannis, is my point. Mm-hmm. Giannis is the most capable 1 through 5 defender in the NBA, and I think he'd be hard-pressed to leave him out if he stays healthy. Number 2 was tough. And there were a lot of guys this could kind of go in the way of, but I think we're done with guards like being in that race, unfortunately. This is definitely not biased at all. Just hypothetically, this is completely out of the blue, but Mitchell Robinson could average 6 blocks a game next year.
I'm so serious. I was actually going to put Mitchell Robinson on.
Mitchell Robinson, look, I'm obviously joking about 6 blocks a game. Mitchell Robinson might be one of the most underrated centers in the NBA when he's healthy. He's such an elite rim protector and rebounder that I think he'll get recognition. It might be, I think more realistically now that I'm saying it out loud, I think he would be 3 and Giannis would be 2. Probably. Just because Giannis' name value. But he could put up 3 blocks a game, especially because the Knicks don't have a backup center. So he's going to be playing he's playing for Tom Thibodeau. He's going to be playing 50 minutes a game. So he's going to get the time. If somebody's going to go in the paint, he's going to go boom. And especially with OG, McCall, oh my God, they're going to have to drive on them, and then he's going to come in and it's just going to Swatsville. And then I spoke about it earlier. Wembanyama. There's no one's beating Wembanyama.
Sure.
He could legitimately 6 stocks a game is not insane. Like, you're telling me he couldn't average? Okay, 6 stocks might be a little bit crazy, but like five is definitely like possible. Like 3 blocks, 2 steals, I could see that.
Yeah.
And I think, especially with like 12 rebounds a night, Victor Wembanyama is going to be hard pressed to find somebody to beat him out for Defensive Player of the Year. I think he's pretty locked.
I know it is a like personal award. It's not a team award, but like we've seen in the past, like teams that have a bad defensive rating, even if you've got a great defensive player, like because Rudy Gobert, the reason he was winning all those awards, not because he had the most blocks in the league, even though he did for some of them, but it's because his teams were the best defensive team in the league when he was on the court, and then they were awful when he was off. That defensive impact. That's what it is. So the Spurs will need to be a better defensive team, but I think they will be solely because of Victor Wembanyama. So yeah, I see no reason why he doesn't win.
Yeah, you know what? I've got a question for you about Rudy Gobert. I want to sidetrack because while 6th Man of the Year and Coach of the Year are fun, I think this is a really interesting question because I've seen it brought up. Is Rudy Gobert a Hall of Famer?
So interesting. I think he has to be.
Really?
Listen, there's only 2 other guys that have won Defensive Player of the Year 4 times, and they're both Hall of Famers. It's Hakeem and Ben Wallace. You know, so to not put him in would be kind of it would be media driven because Ben Wallace didn't average more points than Rudy Gobert. Obviously, Hakeem did. He's superstar. Yeah. But if Ben Wallace is in there, and it's strictly because of his defense, because he didn't do nothing on offense, then Rudy Gobert should be in there too. I don't know if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I mean, the only thing is what? He only has a couple All-Stars. Does he have an All-NBA? He might have a couple.
Probably.
But there's obviously no real team success outside of this past year making it to the Western Conference Finals.
That's a good point.
There's no like personal success out of that depoy. Like Ben Wallace, while he did that, he was also a multiple-time All-Star, and he also did win a ring with the Pistons in 2004.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like rings matter so much, and that's why Derrick Rose also. I don't believe Derrick Rose is a Hall of Famer, but I think Gobert. I think it's gonna have to be a conversation with Gobert, just because, like you said, 2 players ever have had 4 DPOYs, and Rudy Gobert is a third. Like, I think it might not be first ballot. I'm more familiar with the MLB system. I assume the NBA does it in a similar way. It might not be instant, but I think eventually he'll get in. I just don't see a way he's permanently left off.
Yeah.
And now you give me a look. What do you think about Derrick Rose? No,
I agree with you about Derrick Rose. Probably not going to be. I'm just looking at the so Ben Wallace is a 4-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA. Rudy Gobert is 3-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA. So one less on each. If Rudy Gobert gets a ring before he retires, he should be a Hall of Famer.
100%. I think if Rudy Gobert wins a ring, he's a lock. I think now but he's also right now in that vein of guys like him, Derrick Rose. I think DeMar. DeMar is another interesting player.
There's so many players like that. Article on this too. There's like a tier that they're in. I think it's those guys. I think I don't know who else I put in there, but those 3 are 3 of them. Yeah, they're on the fence. They need a little bit more. Derrick Rose in like 2016 when he joined the Knicks. When the conversation was if he can win like a 6th Man of the Year, something like that, then I push him over the edge.
He was starting for that team.
Starting on the Knicks, but after those years, when he was in Minnesota, Detroit, whatever.
Minnesota, yeah. He ended up back on the Knicks in like 2019. He did end up back in the Knicks.
He didn't get anything more, so it's going to be a tough one. It'll be the only MVP to not make it if he doesn't. So that'll be interesting.
I don't think he deserved that MVP. Not
Yeah,
because
well, it's a
not
whole
be, I mean, we talked about that. It's not that he's
yeah.
not a great player.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron is just, in all reality, LeBron's probably deserving of like 8 MVPs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's in fact is he deserved that one. Also, Marc Gasol robbed my glorious king. Was it Marc Gasol? I think.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he robbed my glorious king of defensive player of the year. Marc Gasol, I will find you.
And
But
then not only did he steal as defensive player of the year, he didn't even make all NBA
yeah, I know.
first team defense.
Like what? That was the weirdest thing. I think didn't something like that happen with Tyson Chandler too,
I don't know.
or is
I
like
don't know.
something funky? But yeah, he didn't even make all first team defense,
Yeah.
but he won it over LeBron,
Who
and
did first defense?
ugh, it was just so like. But I that group like I don't even think Demar's interesting because Demar what like 7 or 8 All-Star appearances.
It must be something like that.
Like
Because
he's
do you think Kyle Lowry's a Hall of Fame?
oh that's a he's a 6-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA.
Mm.
And then Lowry, like,
Lowry's got the ring.
that is true. He does have a ring, but I don't know if he has any major, like, he's a 1-time All NBA. He's won a gold medal. He's a 6-time All Star and a champion.
It's
That
tough.
honestly, that gold medal I feel like matters a lot because it is the Basketball Hall of Fame too. Like it's
Sure.
the Naismith. It's not just the NBA Hall of Fame. So I feel like they do take into account what you do overseas.
Yeah.
And I feel like that Olympic, like that gold medal could matter.
And I think when DeMar wins the championship in Sacramento, that'll push him over the top.
Will that be when his bones are buried there and you guys win in 2094?
Uh, possibly, but that's irrelevant.
It took you guys 20 years to make the playoffs. Let's ease yourself,
16,
Jack.
16 years. All right, let's not over exaggerate. All right, it was bad enough. I was born in 2002. I think the last time they made it was 2004.
Oh my god. So yeah, I remember when they first did that, I was like, wow, they haven't made the playoffs since before I was born. Because I was born in 06. I'm a youngin.
It might have been 06 that they last made the playoffs, actually.
Those but that 2002 team, oh my god. Oh,
that the Refs robbed us against the
yes.
Lakers. Yeah, here we
Dude,
go.
those teams with like Jason Williams, Chris Webber, Peja Stojakovic, was Vlade Divac, I think was old, but he was there.
Mike Bibby, Doug Christie, Bobby
Oh yeah,
Jackson.
Doug Christie, known lethal shooter. Oh my
That's
god, what a name!
Doug Christie.
Oh my god, Tyreek Evans fell off. He was rookie. Wasn't he like rookie of the year, or wasn't he like in that running?
Averaged 25 and 5, one rookie of the year, and then we decided to play him at small forward.
You have no idea how good prime Tyreek Evans was. Oh my god, prime Tyreek Evans.
His prime was in his first season. And then he got she was like bad for like 5 years. Joined Memphis, averaged 20 again, and got banned.
Shout out OJ Mayo and Dion Waiters. They're also in that club. Michael Carter Williams peaked in his first NBA game. He dropped like a triple double. He just
Man
never
had like 9 steals too. And that was against LeBron and the Heat.
Really? And
Yeah,
Michael Carter Williams?
I'm pretty sure.
That's funny. Wow. Oh my god. Right. Oh, we've gotten sidetracked. Do you have a pick for coach of the year?
Yes, I think
Unbiased, because Mike Brown is not winning it.
I didn't put Mike Brown on there. I didn't put any Kings on the All NBA teams, and
I think De'Aaron Fox or Sabonis could make it. Didn't they make it once? I thought they made it at least once.
Yeah, they made it All NBA third team in 2022.
That's when you guys were like the 3 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, who's your picks?
I think Sabonis made it last year too, on the third team. I don't know. Coach of the year, I have Mark Daigneault in the 3 because he's going to be the best team in the league, in my opinion. So he should be up there. Mark Daigneault. OKC.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
don't know why I couldn't understand you for a second. That's why I'm tripping.
Mark Daigneault 3 at the 2. This is based on the Pelicans being a top 5 team in the West. Willie Green. I think Willie Green is a great coach.
I agree. I love that.
Yeah. So he's my 2. And at 1, I have the Orlando Magic coach, Jamal Mosley. Because again, I'm with you on the Orlando Magic being a really good team next year.
The Orlando Magic hype train starting right here at Stadium Rant.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget it. But I 100% agree. I love those picks. I think the only thing I might swap out is, like, I don't even know. Like, I feel like Missoula will get a consistent top 3 because he's Joe Missoula, and it's like, oh, he's such a prodigy. It's only his 3rd year. Oh my God, look at him. He's so nonchalant. Bro, like, shut up. But, like, oh, is it who's out in Minnesota? It's not Quinn Snyder.
It's Chris Finch.
Chris Finch, I feel like could get a mention. I'm so bad with coach names. I just think about it like logically, but I think he could get a name call. Thibs, if the Knicks do end up second team, I think Thibs could have like a 3rd place, but I 100% agree that I think first place should very well be Mosley from the Magic because the Magic are just so awesome and so great, and they're gonna win, and it's gonna be awesome. When they win 55 games, everyone who disagreed will have to eat my dust, and it's gonna be great. Like,
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
that team is so slept on, ridiculously slept on. The team is so talented, but I 100% agree. I think because they also love teams that are good the year before, but really good the year after. They like teams that make a jump, and especially like younger teams, like especially because all the like perennial guys, none of them are gonna win it now. What?
Yeah, exactly. That's why Greg Popovich didn't win it a lot of years. I think he's like a one-time coach of the year.
Ridiculous. Absolutely insane. I mean, first off, I think you should have more than known NBA GM Phil Jackson. I will hunt you down and I will get my payback for that, Phil Jackson. You ruined the Knicks. You ruined my childhood. But like Popovich deserves more. But like Spoelstra's not going to be in the running because the Heat aren't going to be anywhere near like the top of the East. Kerr is done. The Warriors dynasty is dead.
How many coach of the years did Steve Kerr win?
I feel like he has to have 3.
If it's more than like, yeah, if I guess 3 would make sense because his teams were just so good. But
4-time, 2015, 17, 18, and then so every year they won the championship, he won it too.
Yeah, no, right.
What? Oh, does Dennis Rodman? Do you agree? Does Dennis Rodman have anything you agree with?
Oh, Dennis Rodman's got a lot I agree with.
Oh my God. No North Korean ambassador, Dennis Rodman.
You know what he's talking about, bro. You know what he's talking
about. No, if you did see on Twitter or on like some interview, I forget what it was. You sent it. I saw it. Dennis Rodman, former teammate of Steve Kerr on those 90 Bulls teams, went in. He was like, he is not a good coach. He just gives it to the shooters. They shoot and they act like he's a god. Bro does not know what he's talking about with like a rainbow mohawk and like 3 nose piercings. Like, all right, Dennis. Thanks. You can go take your leave now.
Shut up, Dennis Rodman.
But like none of those guys are gonna be in the running anymore. It's gonna be like a new race. And it's gonna be the new like tacticianers it's gonna be the Moneyball coaches. They don't see faces. They don't have the eye test. They only look for numbers. Right. And that's who's going to be that win games now and who wins awards. And just for kicks, do you have a 6 man of the year pick?
Yeah. Yep. Got 6 man of the year. I got most improved too. Clutch player of the year. I got everything.
Clutch player of the year. I want to hear your clutch player of the year pick, but go with 6 man first.
6 man first. I got Karis LeVert at 3rd. Honestly, almost forgot about Karis LeVert as well, but he can average 20 off that bench because he's like one of the few guys that can score on that bench. In Cleveland. 2, I have last year's winner Naz Reid, who robbed my boy Malik Monk. He was injured at the end of the season, unfortunately. Malik Monk, he's my number 1, in case you didn't figure that out.
Wow.
As long as he doesn't get injured again, Malik Monk should have ran away with that award last year, and he's going to do it again this year.
That's that team success, you know. Nas Reed, like what, 11 and like 11 off the bench. Like last
Yeah, I
year.
have no idea what he averaged, honestly.
He was good though, and obviously when you're the 2 seed, you curry a little bit more favor. For me, I think I'd probably go with. Well, it's rough. I think I'd probably go Reed 3. I think Josh Hart is gonna have a case for number 2 because off the bench. Also, everyone loves Josh Hart. Josh Hart is so damn funny. He's
True.
the best. And I feel like just now that he also showed up so massively in the playoffs, once a player's name is on like the radar of like voters and fans and they become a household name, they get a lot more favor. I think he could realistically, especially if the Knicks are good, they can see it. Number 1's Malik Monk.
That's right, he is. That's right, he is.
He's such a great scorer. And say it with me, folks. What's the safest pick in the NBA draft? Guard out of Kentucky. And that's Malik Monk. He also has like really underrated athleticism. I kept waiting for him to break out when he was in Charlotte because dude would like cock back from like the 3-throw line.
Yeah.
And just nobody talked about it because Charlotte sucks and they're cursed by the ghost of Michael Jordan. But we've talked about Salon. I don't know.
Yeah. You have a French dude.
Yeah, I thought he was Turkish. I don't care. We don't know who he is. That's the point. But I think Monk wins it pretty easily. But now I want to hear your coach of the year. Or not coach of the year, most clutch
player of the year. This is like such a random award to predict. It literally could be.
This is not possible to predict. It's just
and this is the Aaron Fox's award, but I didn't put him on here. Steph Curry won last year, which I think should have been DeMar DeRozan, but I didn't put him on here either.
Oh, why do you think that?
No, but at 3 I have Shea, at 2 I have Tyrese Maxey, and at number 1 I have the clutchest player in the league who hasn't won the award, and that's Mr. Damian Lillard.
I said Dame won it like the first year it was out.
No, De'Aaron Fox won it. There's only been 2.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. For number 1, I was thinking Maxey. Like I said, PTSD. 7 points in 20 seconds that force OT because we missed free throws and he gets 4-point play. But Maxey clearly has that dog in him. He is made for those late game situations, and I think he's going to have plenty of opportunity given that literally his entire team is just that one meme from SpongeBob. Every day I wake up and I break my legs and then I break my arms and the rest of my body breaks. That's just the entire team, except Kyle Lowry, who shout out Kyle Lowry.
37.
He's 37, but he's still there. I mean, good for him. I guess is he the point guard, or are they gonna run Maxey at the 2?
They'll definitely run Maxey at the 1.
That's what I was thinking. But then what? Do you run a big
line?
lineup?
I hope they run Maxey, Paul George, Kelly Oubre.
That's what I was thinking.
Whoever and Embiid.
Paul Reed.
Probably not Paul Reed. They picked up Caleb Barton from Miami, so he might start.
That's true. I could see that. And then you have Jared McCain as like 6th, 7th man. Getting good tutelage from Kyle Lowry. But no, I feel like Maxey's gonna win it as much as I hate it. Then I feel like Dame's gonna be in the running. Dame's always gonna be in the running. When you're known infamously for being clutch, you're gonna be in it. And then the most absurd take. The ice might have melted into water, but it's gonna freeze up again. It's gonna freeze. Deloading has finally loaded. D'Lo is back. D'Lo will have the ice in his veins again. That is all I've needed to see. D'Lo will have the ice in his veins again, and he will be 3rd in clutch player of the year. And the Lakers.
Nothing more than for D'Angelo Russell to play like Brooklyn D'Angelo Russell again.
Oh my god, that was so much fun.
So happy, but he's not going to be taking clutch shots for the Lakers. To be fair, so
that's gonna be Bronny's job. Shout out Tyler. I know Tyler would love us bringing up Bronny.
Shout out Tyler.
Also, shout out Nets, Theo Pinson, and Jared Dudley. That team was so much fun.
Rondé Hollis Jefferson.
Rondé Hollis Jefferson, known Fortnite player. There's just like a bunch of Fortnite clips of him like running online with like YouTubers. You know Jesser? He
Yeah,
did
I
like
was
a
just
bunch of
thinking.
videos with Jesser when it was like 2018. Everyone played it. Oh my god. Nick Claxton when he was young. Jared Allen, I'm pretty sure, was there.
Jared Allen was on that team.
What a team, dude. Joe Harris when he was like the best shooter in the NBA. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
there was a young Karis LeVert on that team too.
That there is a young Chris Lever. My God, what are these teams, bro? Just going
That
back
was
and looking at these
that was
teams,
such a good team.
that
That
was
was such a
such an
fun
era.
team.
Just they didn't even care about basketball; they just cared about dancing on the sidelines.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my God!
yeah.
But it looks like we have hit that hour. Before we tune out, remember this is presented to you by Stadium Rant. Check out everything they have to offer across all social media. Stadium Rant on Facebook, X, Instagram, of course on YouTube here, and StadiumRant.com for your very own freelance articles. I'm Dravin. You can find me everywhere. Just Dravin.Murdy. On Twitter, I may be Dravin_Murdy, but believe it or not, that is not a very common name, so you should find me. And Jack, where can the folks find you?
You can see it on the screen right there. That's the Instagram, KingsThings916. I'll put it in next time on Twitter. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of the Putback. It was just me and Jack this week. We were hoping to have Nolan, maybe Davensky, maybe Tyler back next week. It's going to be great. Hopefully someone. Because they're not going to let us do this again. We got off topic too many times. We're done. But I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to check out Stadium Rant for more content just like this for fantasy football, NFL, MLB, everything. MLB is starting up soon this Sunday night. It might be. Don't quote me. I might be there. So if you enjoyed my yapping, go there. If you didn't enjoy my yapping, still go there. I'll be muted. All right. Thank you so much for checking it out, and have a great night, everyone.